Hello and welcome back to Scout Report, where today we're looking at what's gone wrong at Atletico Madrid. Let's get started. This was meant to be the year where Atletico Madrid returned to the peak of Spanish football. In 2018-19, Real Madrid had limped to third place in La Liga, firing two managers along the way, while being dumped out of the Champions League thanks to a crushing 4-1 home defeat to Ajax. And despite winning back-to-back league titles, unrest was brewing at Barcelona, with fans unsatisfied with Ernesto Valverde's rigid tactics and the squad desperately in need of refreshment. Atletico, meanwhile, had banked €120 million through the sale of a 28-year-old Antoine Griezmann, reinvesting the entire sum to bring in one of Europe's most sought-after talents, João Felix. Aging though influential figures like Juanfran, Felipe Luis and Diego Godin had all been moved on, and in their place arrived a mixture of youth and experience in the likes of Kieran Trippier, Hector Herrera and Felipe. In addition, the capture of Marcos Llorente from Real Madrid rivals for just €30 million was meant to be another sign that their cross-city rivals were in a state of decline. Diego Simeone, one of football's highest regarded managers, looked ready for another charge at Spain's biggest title. However, 23 games into the season, there is little to cheer about at the Wanda Metropolitano. Bouncing between 4th and 7th in La Liga, dumped out of the Copa del Rey by 3rd division side Cultural Leonesa, and with a gruesome Champions League last 16 tie with Liverpool to come, El Cholo's position has never appeared so vulnerable. To make matters worse, both Barcelona and Real Madrid have yet to hit full stride this season, with La Liga in such a state that Madrid Minas Getafe currently sit 3rd. It's quickly turning into a season to forget for Los Rojiblancos. But what are the main reasons behind their decline so far? Faultering Attack. A quick glance at La Liga table and there is one blatantly obvious issue: scoring goals. While they might boast the second tightest defence in the league, having only conceded 15, only 7 teams have scored fewer than their 23 goals this campaign. By contrast, Barcelona and Real Madrid have found the net 55 and 44 times respectively. What is more concerning is that they have an XG of 35, meaning they should have scored 13 times more than they actually have. And this blame falls on their forwards, who have woefully underperformed. Alvaro Morata is the first culprit on our list. Though he currently leads the club's goal-scoring charts on 7, ranking him 12th in La Liga, an XG of 10 means he is the first player guilty of not putting away his chances. The fact his XG per 90 of 0.64 per 90 puts him roughly on par with Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi is testament to Morata's brilliant movement as a forward. The only difference is the Barcelona pair have chalked up 25 goals between them. The main issue for the Spaniard is that his finishing is simply not good enough. At the time of writing, he is taking 3.2 shots per game, the 10th highest in La Liga. This is doubly impressive considering the lack of service from a midfield where only Koke has managed above 2 key passes per 90 this campaign. 35 of his attempts have come from inside the opposition area, his favourite place to operate, yet only 19 of all his shots have been on target so far. Everything considered, his conversion rate this season is a mere 15.6%, below the league average of 18.1%, while the fact 3 of his 7 goals have been headers says a lot about his ability with his feet. Every striker is entitled to go through an off-season, but the problem with Morata is that this isn't the first time his star quality has been called into question. At just 27, he already boasts a trophy cabinet most players could only dream of. Champions League titles, Serie A and La Liga winners' medals, plus domestic success from Spain to England. And with Chelsea, Juventus and Real Madrid on his CV, the Spaniard has commanded transfer fees totalling a huge €172 million, ranking him as the joint 5th most expensive player ever with Angel Di Maria. For context, only Mbappe, Lukaku, Ronaldo and Neymar place ahead of him. But since rising to the Real Madrid first team, he has only twice reached double figures in a league season, with his best return being 20 goals in all competitions for Los Blancos in 16-17. When you consider his name against the players in the aforementioned list, that is hardly prolific. However, he is not the only one to blame at Atletico. The return of Diego Costa has been a resounding failure. Long gone are the days when the Spanish menace bullied his way to 52 goals in 3 Premier League seasons for Chelsea. His average shots per game have almost halved to 1.67 from his time in England, while a return of 7 goals over the last 3 seasons, including 2 this campaign, is pitiful for a man who powered Atletico to a league title in 13-14, scoring 27 times. Angel Correa and Vitolo are the final 2 culprits, with the latter managing just 2 goals from 764 minutes of football this term. Correa has proved more useful of late, with 4 goals and 5 assists to his name and 2.6 shots per match. However, the fact his XG is 6 once again shows opportunities are being missed. Collectively, the 4 forwards have a combined worth on Transfermarkt of €121 million. 15 league goals between them, however, makes a mockery of that value. João Felix, wrong club? Arguably the most alarming issue with the Atletico forward line, however, has been the form of €128 million man João Felix. A few eyebrows were raised when he chose the Madrid club as his next destination, with fears Diego Simeone's defensive approach wouldn't marry well with the FIFA Golden Boy's attacking talent. And sure enough, those concerns appear to have been realised, with João Felix struggling to look anywhere close to the star that lit up Portugal last season. But is his decline a result of his own drop of form, or due to the tactics employed by El Cholo limiting his ability to shine? The 19-year-old is undeniably playing beneath himself in front of goal. In his breakout year at Benfica, he scored 15 times with a further 7 assists. Yet, so far this season, he has only found the net twice in La Liga, his second strike coming against Mallorca at the end of September, over 4 months ago. Worse than that, his only assist this term came in just his second match against Leganes in August. Both fullbacks Kieran Trippier and Renan Lodi have managed more than that. One of his issues comes down to where he is taking his shots. At Benfica, he averaged an impressive 3.5 shots per 90. But importantly, 2.4 of those came from inside the penalty area, with just 0.8 outside of the box, showing how he liked to arrive late to finish a move, similar to what we saw Frank Lampard do for many years. This year, he has actually maintained a fairly consistent shot rate, taking 3 per 90 for Atleti. However, the difference this time is 1.6 of these are from inside the penalty area, with 1.2 outside the box. That means that almost 20% more of his shots are having to come from distance, making it statistically much harder to score. He has, however, already missed 6 big chances to add to his tally, which is 1 more than he managed in the whole of last season. But the most drastic decline has come in his passing game. His 1 assist can be credited to the fact his key passes per 90 have dropped from 1.5 in Portugal to just 0.6 this term, which is a significant fall. As mentioned previously, getting to the right positions isn't the issue for the main striking outlets Morata and Correa, so Felix is at fault for not creating enough opportunities for the team. However, there are indications that Simeone's demands and tactics means that the 19-year-old isn't being given the creative freedom he once experienced. While his defensive numbers are fairly similar to last season, with his tackles and interceptions per match only marginally rising from 0.7 to 0.8, there is clear evidence that Felix is falling victim to his manager's desire for his side to defend deep and attack on the break. His average passes in the opposition half have fallen from 14.4 in Portugal to 10.5 in Spain, while his rate of winning possession in the final attacking third has halved from 0.4 to 0.2. This could help to explain why he is being forced to take more shots from distance, as he is having to arrive from a deeper position in his own half to attack. It also goes some way to explain why successful dribbles have fallen from 57 to 35%, as he is having to face the opposition midfield rather than find space in front of the defence. All things considered, the way he is being asked to play at Atletico is restricting his attacking potential by not allowing him to find positions in which he thrives. And El Cholo's unwillingness to base his plans around Felix's ability, despite the hefty price tag he carries, is doing little to help the situation. Moving to a new country with a different language and teammates is never going to be easy, but that is made all the much harder when you are being made to change completely as a player. Atletico have already experienced one expensive flop in Tom Lemar, and unless they wake up to Felix's potential, they could be on course to experience another, this time of much costlier proportions. Set-piece fragility. While it may seem harsh to criticise one of La Liga's best performing defences, in certain areas it could do better, which more importantly can be linked to deeper issues at the club. A real cause for concern for Simeone will be the fact that 6 out of the 15 goals they have conceded have come from set pieces. Unsurprisingly, this is part of Atletico's game, where they have been notoriously strong under the Argentine, thanks to meticulous preparation and demands. Since 2015-16, when they conceded just 2 goals from set pieces, they have consistently ranked as one of the best defences in Spain in this department, only giving away 11 goals respectively from corners and free kicks in the last 2 years. That works out at just 21.5% of every league goal they have let in during that period. But with 6 set-piece goals conceded already this campaign, that figure stands at 40%. This may not seem drastic, but with their attacks struggling to contribute and set pieces generally being more structural and formulaic to defend, 40% is too high. Much of their defensive success at corners in the past have come down to their perfection of the difficult art of zonal marking. They tend to have between 3 and 6 players covering a predetermined zone, depending on the numbers of opponent attackers in the box, with the rest normally allocated to a player to try and disrupt their movement. However, these defenders then travel towards the ball's direction, rather than stay with their man, so to create a numerical advantage at the point of impact. One of the main reasons that it's been effective is due to the familiarity and regularity by which it was practiced from their defensive mainstays of Diego Godin, Juanfran and Felipe Luis. But with all 3 gone and 3 new faces having arrived, it may explain why Atletico are beginning to falter, as the new trio of Lodi, Trippier and Felipe, signed this summer from Porto, come to terms with the system. It also goes without saying that they miss the presence of the legend that is Godin. Now at Inter, the Uruguayan holds a career average of 4.4 tackles and interceptions and 5.8 clearances per match, with that rising even further during his best years at Atleti. None of the current crop of Colchonero's centre-backs can better these stats, nor match the command or influence he wielded. But the players are not solely to blame. The man credited with Atleti's set-piece dominance is Diego Simeone's number 2, German Burgos. The fiery Spaniard has been at El Cholo's side since 2011, but it was recently reported he is planning his own move into management in the summer, something that would rock Atleti's foundations. Various Spanish outlets are suggesting this could be a factor behind Atleti's slack set-piece defence, with Burgos not giving his full attention to the job at hand. With Kieran Trippier, Jose Jimenez and Santiago Arias currently injured, Simeone will have to shuffle his pack again to find a defensive solution, which doesn't help develop familiarity with the new teammates in the long run. And even if they return soon, the fact they may have a new defensive coach with new methods in the summer means the current crop may have to start afresh all over again. Everything considered, Atleti may have to take a new direction to get the best out of their team in the long term. So guys, that was our deep dive on what is going wrong at Atleti at current. Get your suggestions for who we should cover next in the comments down below. And don't forget to leave some praise for Henry. I thought it was a very good script. So leave a comment, like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!